Hey there, hope this finds you well. It is a Sunday afternoon, and I've just been reflecting on my week and some of the things that happened. And I'm far enough down on my healing journey that I am trusting my gut and know my body well enough to sense when things feel off. And oddly enough, I kind of went down a path of spiritual awakening and learned I'm pretty intuitive and have a lot of spiritual gifts. And I've been gatekeeping on something that I feel is honestly momentous for everybody in the world should have this ability to read someone's energy to find out if they are worth their time in pursuing a relationship, whether romantically, friendship, business, you name it. Or if you just are in a relationship with someone that you just keep butting heads and you're trying so hard and you're just wondering whether or not you should cut ties or walk away or what's going on, what the heck, you're so confused. I think we've all been in situations where we had that happen to us at least once. Some of us have had it more often than not. And I do believe good-hearted people, givers, often attract takers. And, there's a difference between, I feel like there's a difference between a good person at their soul kind of acting like an a-hole because of unhealed trauma and wounds and being emotionally unavailable and never really knowing how to have a healthy relationship. And then there's the ones that are pretending to be good, but deep down at their core, they're just not. And it's hard to know. It's very confusing. Especially those type of people are pretty intuitive and they're good at the long game. They will work so hard and diligently on duping you because their values are not getting closer and building a solid relationship. Their main goal is manipulation. That is their core principles. And if you're like me, I really would rather avoid more trauma. I've been through enough, and going forward in my life, I would like to know for sure whether or not a person is worth my time. Or if you are in a relationship, knowing whether or not they have that type of soul who's just chosen to stay disconnected from their heart and their conscience and their soul, basically how it was intended to be. They're more on that dark side of that, and not trying to say bad or good, but just without judgment. It is more of just a person who's chosen to denounce that part of themselves, and they're really someone you probably aren't going to be able to ever get headway on working towards a common goal of healing and growth and compassion and empathy towards one another. If you're in a relationship with someone like that and you know this information about their soul quality, it can really help you know whether or not you should stay or go, or if you should, set better boundaries in the relationship to help you know this is not a me issue, that's a them issue, and how to protect yourself, because it's not always possible to completely exit out of a relationship if you have a family member, parent, child, sibling, spouse. Although, gosh, that's the most intimate relationship you can have. I really would encourage somebody to reconsider if they're staying, but I know it can be hard when you have your security wrapped up into it and kids and stuff like that. It's not a decision you should take lightly. But for me, I went down a dark, deep path of spiritual healing and discovered some gifts and this tool that I use now going forward in all my relationships. If I'm going to consider dating somebody, getting into a job, I now do this simple test that I can do for you if you're not sure and confused, to help me know for sure what this person could possibly be about. And then knowing this, they kind of all have the same playbook. Some are more on the, there's a spectrum. Some are a little bit more mild on the spectrum, and some are more advanced. Depends on how advanced their soul is. But they're pretty intuitive, and they're pretty good at knowing how to manipulate and gaslight and control and the whole playbook. And most of us that are, if you're seeing this channel, most of us already kind of know that's just how they operate. But knowing, I wish I would have known. I wish I would have known ahead of time what I was getting myself into, because I feel like knowledge is power, and I would love to gift you with that power, because it just might set you free. And knowing, all right, this is what this is at a soul core soul level, and then you can decide how you want to move forward. I would never push anybody to make a decision, but knowing this could really potentially help you avoid a lot more trauma and pain. And especially in the dating realm, you want to pick a good partner that's going to be with you. Life is hard enough than to not have someone wanting to be your do life with you and grow. And then of course creating children, we don't need any more kids walking around with trauma. Okay, we all just need to be more wise and educated and go out in the world with more discernment. I can do this test for you. Reach out to me at thezenzone@mail.com, or if you need coaching, spiritual or abuse coaching, I am your girl. Okay, so thezenzone@mail.com, and this is a super easy test. It's not expensive, and it can help you know for sure what you're dealing with so you can make smart decisions. Be smart out there, date smart, marry smart, get into business partnerships smart, etc., etc. Bye.